All right, then, welcome everyone to Otaku News Live for January 8th, 2011. Thank you, as always, for joining me. And I am joined this week, as most weeks, by Matt Dixon and Miniman.
Woo!
Welcome, guys, to the show.
Good to be here. It's a pleasure.
So the news for the week, a bunch of things going on. The first one we really want to talk about was, if I can get back to it here, is the fact that Funimation has announced they're going to be streaming Dragon Ball Z, not Kai, Dragon Ball Z on Funimation.com, one episode at a time. Which seems a little odd to me when they've had the whole thing for so long, to be sort of dribbling it out for so long. I don't get it.
Plus, this could ruin half of YouTube. I mean, if you think about it, Funimation, as soon as they put a piece of content up on their YouTube thing, it suddenly gets the ban blocker. The amount of people who've done Dragon Ball Z scenes are about to be horribly banned as the episodes go by. So, you know, sorry YouTube, but Funimation have found us.
Yeah. And I wonder if that isn't really it, is kind of more of a power play on their part to sort of get a lot of that unlicensed Dragon Ball Z content, gone.
It seems more like a copyright thing. The fact they're doing it now seems very copyright, because it's not like their whole site is gone. It's the year of Dragon Ball Z. It's either that or they're bringing out a DVD set, but they all... I mean, usually they announce a DVD set at the end of the series, or like when they're halfway through it, like as soon as Phantom ended, they announced a January 18th date for the Phantom DVDs, which isn't coming to Britain for another few months, apparently. It's got delayed in Britain, so hooray. And by that I mean damn you, all at Funimation. But yeah, so, it just seems like a copyright thing, to be quite honest.
Which is odd, because they've had... I remember actually talking to Adam Sheehan about that, the brand manager at Funimation, and because I said, I do these videos, how much can I show in a video? And he said, basically, as long as you're not showing like a full episode, we're cool with it. If you're showing clips and stuff like that, then we're not going to come after you.
Okay, because I once showed a 3-second clip. I got banned.
Well, nevertheless... I'm not saying that everyone, that happens to everyone. I'm saying that Funimation has that policy, and that, in general, they don't, obviously, based on the amount of stuff out there, they don't go after every single person out there. So, I'm kind of curious if they're doing that now for, to try to grab all that. It could just be basically they're saying, okay, that's all out there. The other weird thing is Dragon Ball Z is already out streaming. It's already available from at least one site that I can recall. So, maybe Funimation is just saying, hey, we're going to get a nice quality version up on our site. I don't know.
Well, maybe it's a good way of advertising. I mean, think about it. People like Dragon Ball Z, people like YouTube, people search for Dragon Ball Z videos on YouTube. You find out the entire series of DBZs on, and you get people flocking to Funimation's channel, and they can advertise.
That's a good point. Matt, what do you think?
Well, I just like the idea. It's a good plan just for all the old fans to watch it in a more, how can I say this, involving way, like they used to. People, more of a nostalgia kind of thing. People can watch it how they used to watch it. They can watch one episode, then wait a week, then watch the next.
True.
When something's streaming, you lack the drive to watch it. It's all there, so you feel like if you're going to watch one episode, you might as well watch 40 others. Yeah. If it's only once a week, then you might as well, you can think, oh, there's another one out, I might as well just watch this one, because it is to the limit that I can watch it.
Yeah.
And then just leave it. You wait a week, and then come back, you go back to what other animes you were watching. And this is just that once a week thing.
Yeah. What is interesting is that we consider how maybe it's not, but I've been under the impression that folks have been seeing Dragon Ball Z Kai as a very worthwhile re-editing and reworking of Dragon Ball Z. So I'm wondering how that fits into all this, of whether maybe there's a sort of hardcore group that kind of wants the original Dragon Ball Z, and this is a way of sort of reaching out to them and saying that the original Dragon Ball Z is still out there too.
Well, it'd make more sense if, like, they sort of Funimation grabbed Dragon Ball Kai and did multicast streaming. So then you had Dragon Ball Z on the same week as Dragon Ball Kai, maybe like one on the Monday, one on the Tuesday. Oh, I mean, it seems more logical that way. It's just like, I mean, sort of, I know that the copyright thing has actually gone down recently with the older content. Like, it's not as bad as it used to be, and such. But like, the only thing that confuses me is Dragon Ball Kai has been out for a while. I mean, it's very late in the game to start doing this, unless they're trying to like do it from a certain event and do the old Haruhi thing, in which you always, a certain date of a certain event you always celebrate, because obviously always December 18th. Goodbye website. Right. But yeah, I mean, it's just the lateness that confuses me more than anything else.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it just seems odd. All right, moving on to sort of an interesting kind of inside baseball bit is that Weinstein Entertainment, the Weinstein Brothers, the big Hollywood movers and shakers, they've announced they've bought 25% of Starz Media, and this is important for us because Starz Media is a parent company for Manga Entertainment as well as Anchor Bay. This includes a 5-year distribution deal, under which Starz will handle DVD and digital distribution for Weinstein. So apparently this is basically Weinstein saying, hey, we need someone to distribute our DVDs and such, and we're going to, grab some of Starz so we can do that. The big question will be the effect that will have. I mean, anytime you get in a major new economic partner like that, that's going to have some significant effects on just the way a company is run. So, I wonder if that's going to have any effect on Manga Entertainment.
Depends if Weinstein are just buying out or if they're actually adding their own team to it.
Yeah.
Because Manga Entertainment, as of recently, has been quite slow. Especially, I can only speak from England, but English distribution of Manga Entertainment has gradually slowed down. I mean, it used to be that they would ship things immediately once the shops need the stock for them, but they just aren't bothering as much anymore. And, I'm hoping that sort of they maybe Weinstein add a new team to it, and perhaps, if they distribute their stuff, it could be interesting. I mean, if you think about it, if Weinstein are sort of the Hollywood company and such, then, there's possible licenses there, and maybe they can grab some free licenses, but, I don't see anything in it too much apart from just to have maybe the push, or it's either the case of they just need someone to distribute, or perhaps there may be some licensing agreements with it as well. There are lots of stuff that manga does which which are sort of available for licensing. They're not think of Afro Samurai. They've been letting whoever they want do with stuff with that, and who knows, but.
Well, if nothing else, it means a lot more volume. They'll be getting a lot more stuff to sell. Weinstein will be pumping more stuff down that distribution stream. So that's certainly going to be good for Starz Media, which hopefully will only be good for Manga Entertainment, because it just means more cash in the bank.
And more cash in the bank, more animes to get, right?
Exactly, and it looks like Manga needs it.
I've heard that their company hasn't been in great health recently.
No. Well, they've always been an odd company. I mean, they've always made a lot of bets, and a lot of them haven't really paid off. They've licensed some really awesome stuff, Ghost in the Shell, and then a lot of just really off-the-wall minor stuff that no one ever watches. So they haven't had the track record a lot of other companies where they managed to get a good list. They really suffered.
Yeah, Funimation's sort of been like that recently. I mean, what company in their right mind licenses Shukufuku no Campanella, the most boring series to have ever hit shores?
To be fair, I mean that had a lot of attention from the shoujo crowd.
Dire.
Well, maybe that's the reason why they're buying shares in them, because they seem from what I've seen, and because of the track record they've had, they're one of the only companies, distribution-wise and licensing-wise, that's willing to take a risk of taking an out-there manga. And if this company that's bought them out, bought a large amount of them, can help that company, reinvigorate it a little, then that means that, they can possibly get a hold of these risks when they take them, and the risks that they do take that do pay off, they get money for. They do well for.
And the Weinstein Brothers are, renowned for doing, risky stuff and for putting money out there on things that might not work out. I believe they were
what sort of films, by the way, have Weinstein done?
I don't recall. I believe they were one of the first ones to go after Lord of the Rings. And then it bounced back, but they've done a lot of stuff in Hollywood. They're hugely famous for being just really really big back there. So hopefully they can bring some of that to Manga Entertainment, and Manga Entertainment's, like you say, their riskiness sounds like a good match.
I mean, it'd be more. What I'd be most interested in, I do like the idea of the match between those two. I mean, it's weird that we haven't had any other directors or anything like that actually try something like this before. I mean, if Weinstein Entertainment, if they're big in Hollywood, then I really hope that maybe they can sort out something with licenses as well. It could be a case of, we partner with you, we'll see how much money we get, and if the shares are high enough, maybe can we have a license or two? Because Ghost in the Shell has been a interesting port from every single director saying they're going to be doing a live action film.
Yeah,
I mean, even Steven Spielberg bought the rights for it for 12 years.
Yeah, and
he didn't do anything with it. And
thank goodness.
And manga are letting. I mean, it's either going to be the anime revolution of film if something happens, or it could be the absolute destruction of. And seeming as I decided that my path in life shall be to be the first person to actually do a good live action anime film, I'm going to make sure they don't.
Well,
because I'm going to start an anime revolution.
And it could be the Weinstein Brothers. They want a piece of that. It could be that they're saying, "Hey, let's look at that library and see if there's some material that we can use for an adaptation." I don't think that's the main reason they're doing this, but I wonder if that's in the back of their minds.
Possibly.
Who knows?
It's just. I don't know. It seems like for things like this, the timing's off, because stuff like this between film companies happens in summer when the box office is booming, because then once everyone's hearing about the latest Weinstein Brothers film, then everyone looks at Weinstein Brothers, and then they always announce this big thing, and it usually increases productivity and sales. I mean, Steven Spielberg has done that with licenses before. He always buys licenses in summer after the film's been done, and it seems like I don't have a problem with them getting a piece of cash in it. I think that Manga Entertainment do need the boost, and I hope they do get that boost, because Manga Entertainment are a very good company. They've been very kind to people, especially in terms of copyright. They've been pretty much letting people use a lot of material from Bleach and such like that. They've been very kind with all of that, and if you contact them, they are absolutely fine with using their material as long as you're not using whole episodes. They actually have a thing on their site which actually sort of sometimes links to good AMVs and such that of their material. So they're a kind company, and maybe it's that Weinstein Brothers also want that press. They want that sort of freedom of copyright without being fully plagiarized. So that would be nice. But if Manga Entertainment's do well with them, I sort of really hope that they do well. But I think that if they actually wanted to help Manga Entertainment out most, they would have announced this during summer, because that's when people would know.
But isn't this an inside industry sort of thing? Isn't it so that they're getting this now so they can make those licensing announcements 6 months from now? I mean, I don't think they're doing this now because they think, you know,